No, I don't even want to start. I don't even start with the intro. I just want to talk about like something dumb I did. Okay, so like this week. No. Okay. I didn't realize how bad my memory was and like how bad Ramadan would affect it. Like I feel like in Ramadan it goes from like 1 to 10, like how bad my memory is. Like my memory at its worst is like a 1. Like I'm saying that's a 1, and then Ramadan just like amplifies it by 10 because so I'm still going to the gym during Ramadan, right? Like I was talking about that, you know, whatever. But like,
it's gonna be like inaudible on the caption here.
I'll put that on there. But yeah, so like, now unfortunately, you know, work is telling me we have to come into the office now. Like I was, you know, we were closing for a while there. You know, we don't need to, but you know, it's like
5 days a week,
old school and stuff. What?
5 days a week?
They're like working towards that, like 5 days a week. I know, right?
What? Ew.
I know.
Protest.
I know, man. Yeah.
Literally protest.
Nah, it's. I think it's just a lot of old school people there, so like they just kind of they prefer that kind of thing.
You got boomers at your workplace.
Exactly. But like, unfortunately, like byproduct of that is like I have to go to the gym directly from work, and directly after work. I mean, and I have to wear like my gym clothes under. Well, I don't have to, but I choose to because I don't like changing in the gym. Like I don't like having to take all your clothes off and then put it back on in the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
I try and spend as little time in the change room as possible.
Yeah.
And all I had that day to take off was my jeans, right?
Okay.
So like I take off my jeans and I was like, I don't want to use a locker, so I like put it on, you know, those they have like the coat racks and stuff. I put like on the top of that, right? And I do my whole workout. I was wearing like shorts under. It was pretty chilly that day. And I finished the workout. I was like, okay, you know, I'm ready to go. And I literally just walked out.
I knew you were going to say that.
I didn't even think of the pants.
Did you have anything in your pants?
No. I made sure. That's why I don't use the lockers. Like I don't keep anything in there, right?
Okay, good.
So then I was like, when I got home, I didn't realize until like after I broke my fast.
Home.
Yeah, I went home and everything. I completely forgot about the pants until like almost the next day. Like it was like after the thought, I was like chilling and everything. I was like, I think I was trying to like see what I was going to wear tomorrow for work and looking for the pants. I was like, where are my pants? Did I not wear them when coming out? And I realized like, I just walked out in my shorts. So then I was like, okay, I'll just go back the next day. I knew I was going to go to the gym the next day and just pick them up, right?
Why would you wait until the next day? What if someone takes them?
No, it was too late at this point. Like gym was closing in an hour. I was like, whatever. It's jeans, right? Like they're my favorite jeans, or like they're the jeans that I wear a lot.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, who's gonna touch jeans, right?
You'd be surprised.
So the next day after work, you know, with the intention of going back to the gym, and the first thing I'm doing is like getting my jeans. I walked into the gym, and I don't know what happened when I walked through those doors in the gym. My brain immediately went to start lifting. So I went straight to the lifting.
Amir.
And forgot to check even for the pants. And then like
Don't tell me you went home again. Are you serious?
I literally did the whole workout. And I just remind you, I went to the gym with the intention of getting my pants first, right? I literally did my whole workout and just walked out again.
Are you serious? Yeah. What's wrong with you? Why?
I'm telling you, Ramadan just does something to my brain.
You need to start setting reminders on your phone.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Did you get them?
Well, okay, so then I was like, okay, when I realized again, like later in the day that I forgot, like later in the night that I forgot it, I was like, okay, next day.
Yeah, and then you waited the next day again?
Of course, because the gym was already closed at that point. So I was like, okay, next day, I'm going to go into the gym. First thing I'm going to do is like check for the pants, right? So I went to the gym and I was like, okay, this time I was actually determined to. So I went in there, I checked. Pants were no longer there.
Obviously. You thought they were really going to be chilling like, hey.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, you know, next best thing is to go to the front desk and ask them like, hey, have you guys got any return pants? But I was like, you know what? Let me do my workout first and then I'll ask them, right?
I'm literally going to punch you.
I literally like did the whole workout, walked past the front desk, said, peace guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Completely forgot to ask about the pants.
You're joking.
No.
No, I'm gonna punch you. You deserve to lose. I hope they never get back. Then what happened?
It was so bad. So then I was like, you know, fourth time's a charm.
You waited till the next day again?
Yeah.
Amir!
At that point, I went to them. And I was like, first thing I did, I was like, okay. I asked him, I was like, hey, did anyone return any pants? I was like, best we got is like half a flip flop. like one flip flop.
So someone stole your jeans?
Yeah, so someone took my jeans.
Good for you. 4 days?
Yeah. So I no longer have those jeans. I'm gonna just have to buy them. But they're like regular American Eagle like stretchy jeans or whatever.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah, and like the middle was already starting to like wear out anyways.
And someone stole those?
Probably, or maybe the cleaners just like, you know how it's been there for 3 days. Probably the cleaners were like, no one's gonna claim this, so they just kind of chucked it out.
You're so lucky you didn't like.
Oh no, I never leave anything in my pants.
Oh.
Yeah, I always just like wear, like a normal pants. I wear my stuff in my sweater or my shorts. That's what I meant to say.
But 4 days.
I know. It's really bad. But that just shows you like how bad my memory is.
You need to go to the doctor. When was the last time you saw your doctor?
Yeah, like even my work was like, I think you have like a medical issue. Because I like forget things at work too.
You got the 3rd vaccine, right?
Yeah. No, that's not the reason.
No, but so did my mom.
No.
And but listen.
Yeah.
I think it's that.
Sada, you know how bad my memory is already.
I know, but that amplifies it. Maybe. And it's Ramadan. Like, you just...
Maybe I lost a few brain cells when I took that. Or no. Actually, they said that when you get COVID, you lose a few you lose brain cells when you get COVID. So that might have been what caused it.
I got it twice, so that explains a lot.
Welcome back, guys, to the Cousin
Connection
podcast. Hey.
Man. So, I mean, if any of you guys can relate to having sudden or amplified memory loss ever since getting your second...
No, in Ramadan in general. I feel like everybody kind of like... Your memory kind of like diminishes in Ramadan, no?
I don't know if it's about memory or if it's like your focus. Actually, no, they say that when you fast, you have more focus. I don't know. Like, I'm like, what kind of fasting are you doing? I guess so, yeah.
It kind of goes against everything else I've been saying. Because like I have more energy most of the time.
You have more energy?
Yeah. Like I'm able to do everything in the gym just as I was before Ramadan.
While you're fasting?
Yeah. Like I lift just as heavy. I lift heavier at times. Like I just go by my program. My program, if it tells me to lift heavier, I lift heavier.
You don't feel extra tired?
No. I don't need water, no nothing. It's weird. I'm like, how did I drink water before? What?
Yeah, what do you like? How?
I told you what I eat for suhoor. I have my whole...
Oh, you still have that?
Yeah, I still have the same thing every day. Yeah.
You don't get sick of it?
No. Dang. I never get sick of food. I'm telling you. I'm like
mashallah.
a man of habit, a creature of habit. Yeah. Creature of habit. That's what I meant to say. Damn. Yeah, guys. So that's the thing that's been happening. It's definitely something to somewhat be concerned about. Whatever, I mean,
like, I think you're almost 30. It's time for you to go to call up your doctor.
Maybe go to the doctor the first time in my 20s.
You know that meme where it's like that girl from, I can't remember what show, but she's like, hey,
oh, that would be
it's gonna be you when you go.
That's me walking into the doctors.
If they
accept me.
Why?
Because remember, there's a whole like shortage in like doctors who are accepting new patients, right?
What? Don't you have one?
No, I haven't. I told you I haven't been to the doctor in almost my whole 20s.
Turn off the cameras.
Yeah, like, it's that bad. Like, it's so bad that like I think my original family doctor was like, "Yeah, we're throwing out the file because you haven't been here in like 10 years."
Amir,
I know. I have a problem. Everybody has something to work on.
You got a laundry list, okay?
Ironically enough, like the guy who like is focusing on his health the most is the one who like doesn't go to get himself checked out. Haven't had a blood test, no nothing.
Like,
Amir, yeah.
You better go and put that in your reminders.
Yeah, I do.
Go to the doctor.
No, that's something that I've actually started to implement now, like for work specifically, because I started forgetting so much that like they're like, we have to make a plan, and like I have to start using a schedule to like remember stuff.
Oh my!
Yeah, it's
like
bad.
A planner.
Yeah, like a planner, because my memory is actually so bad. Like when I tell people like, hey, I forgot to message you back, or hey, I forgot to call you back, or hey, I forgot to get this for you or do this for you. Like it's not me just being lazy. It's literally like an issue with me remembering things.
You're not concerned in the slightest bit?
Well,
Amir.
yeah.
No, you have to be. I'm concerned for you now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get myself checked out soon. Don't worry about it. Okay.
In other news, how are you guys doing? It is officially the last week of Ramadan.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel good. It's been like, it went by pretty quickly.
Very
honestly.
quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's because the days are getting shorter. It seems like it's going by quicker.
The days are getting longer. What do you mean?
What do you mean? No, I mean like over the years, like from last year compared to this year, that kind of thing. Maybe that's what it is. So I don't know how it's gonna feel like in December or whatever, when it's in that time. But yeah, I think it's just like, or maybe because we're older now, we're always more busy. Like maybe as kids, like when you're a kid, you have nothing to do all day.
Remember, we would like stare and watch the clock like ticking.
Yeah, but now when you're working and you like have projects, like we were working on podcast stuff, like it keeps you so busy that you forget about the time. Like there are times where I'm at home and like, let's say I'm editing or something. Like my dad will like come and scream and be like, it's time to break our fast. Like it's literally like 10 minutes past our breaking our fast and they were just waiting for me. Or they'll just like start without me and like start praying and be like, where were you?
That was us. Was it last week or the week before when I broke my fast?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like time just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm like 1,000 times busier in Ramadan than I am outside of it.
Yeah. It's because you have to allot that time for breaking your fast and like the iftar time. So you can have to like crunch everything either before it or like after it. And then you have very little time because like you go to sleep earlier sometimes too. So
that, and I think you know what it is?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, and our families are the same in this sense where in Ramadan, like we eat with our parents. Like outside of Ramadan, we kind of just like sometimes you eat with them. Sometimes you can do your own thing and eat
I'm
around.
always in my room.
Like you eat around your schedule though, right? Like you're either working and eating or like doing whatever and eating, right?
Yeah, I'm always working and eating. I never like, I have to be doing something while eating. Yeah.
Like watching something or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But like in Ramadan, you're like sitting and you eat with them and you pray with them and stuff. So that takes up like a good like hour and a half of your time. So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, because you're losing that, or you're using that hour and a half that you would have used for something else, right? Yeah, it's definitely but it's a good thing to do, to take that time to like I don't know, sit down with everybody they get me for these 30 days or 29 days of the year, and then for the rest of the year I'm just like do my own thing, peace.
Fading out into the background.
Yeah, I'm in my room.
Into the background here.
I'll just fade in. Why are you trying to make me do more editing work here?
I know, right? Now. Do it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So apparently you got something for me today that you didn't want to tell me about ahead of time. Just save for the podcast. But what you got today?
Yeah, it was I saw it and I was like, ooh, this is good.
Is it another show?
No, it's not a show.
Okay.
So I saw it on Shade Room. You don't follow them, right? No. Trust me.
Okay. Good. I won't judge. I'm not here to judge. Okay.
So they asked a question. I think it was like the beginning of this past week. And the question was, if you had the chance to, like there are two books. There's one book where every single person that you've ever encountered in your life has said a negative thing about you. So all the negative things that have been said about you
is written down in that book.
Is written down in this book, and who said it. And then there's a second book with every good thing, every positive thing that someone has said about you, anyone has said about you, and their name and like who said it. And you can only read one of the books. Yeah. And whichever book you choose, the other book disappears forever. Yeah. Which one would you pick and why?
Oh, I'll choose a positive one for sure.
Why?
Because like actually, surprisingly enough, we were talking about this like right before, how like people react to negative comments.
Oh yeah.
Earlier, like
we ain't even gonna talk about it because I don't want to give him any attention on this podcast.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I would prefer to focus more on the positive stuff because like nothing good is gonna come out of you searching for that kind of negative, I don't know, feedback or not feedback, but just like that those negative comments, whether in that book or in like real life. And I feel like if you focus more on the positive, like it'll just drown out all that negative anyways, right? And why would you do that to yourself? It's not the same reason as like I say, why would you watch a horror movie? It's like, why would you put yourself in that situation? You know you're not going to feel good at the end of it.
So you want the positive like affirmation?
Yeah, I would prefer to have the positive affirmation. At least because like also as a person, normally people like they're already their own worst critic, right? Yeah. So why would you want to add on top of that?
See, when I first read it, I was like, yeah, duh, I'd pick the positive one. Yeah. Then I decided to like scroll through the comments.
Really?
And I saw the most interesting point. And I have to tell you what it said. So one person commented and said, I would pick the negative one so that I can learn and grow.
But usually like you can tell someone, you can give someone advice. First off, if anything is said behind your back, I don't think it's going to be something constructive for you to learn and grow from to begin with. Yes. I don't think someone's going to talk behind your back and be like, I feel like if they did this and this, their life would improve so much more. It's like no one's going to say that behind your back. If they're going to say something behind your back, it's most likely going to be something negative. If it's not, it's going to be whatever's in that positive book. Yeah, if it's positive, it's going to be in the positive book, right? So I feel like if you're going to look, constructive, I want to think of something constructive criticism as negative. I would think that would be put into the positive book.
But sometimes there are things that you might not like to hear, but you might have to hear it. Like we're not all perfect. Like of course I have like one thing that I know I need to work on is being late for like literally everything.
Y'all don't even know, man.
Not the black woman. You gotta do the Z snap.
No, I can't. I can't. You just did it. No. I'm done. I did one part of the Z. That's it.
That's meme worthy. But I thought it was like interesting that he took it in that way.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I might
want
to.
Who took it in? What? Oh, the
person who said
comment?
like he'd pick the negative book.
Yeah.
Because you don't really didn't really specify like if it's like hateful comments or if it's like just like the bad things about you. I don't know, the not so good things about you.
Yeah. So I guess it really is like up to interpretation on what you consider to be negative.
Yeah.
Like me, I wouldn't consider that to be negative. So when I think of what's in the positive book, that's what I would feel would be in there. Yeah. But there are some people who just really can't take criticism. And they feel like any type of criticism is like negative.
Do you feel like you're like, I don't think you're like that.
No. I prefer people to criticize whatever I do so I can improve on it.
Yeah. So but you see that as a positive thing?
Yeah, I would see that as a positive thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because it means that person cares, unless they like say it in a way that's like to degrade you.
Yeah, tone matters.
Yeah, tone is a big thing. Yeah. Like tone is a difference between what is in that negative book and a positive book.
Really?
You can say the same thing, and I feel like it could fall into either of those books depending on how you say it. Right?
See, that's why it's like, I guess it was really interesting the way that person interpreted it. Oh my God.
Interpreted it. Yeah, it's a really hard word to say. Don't worry.
Versus like how you did.
Yeah. So that's why that even that what do you call it again? That question or that like setup.
Yeah.
It really depends on how the person thinks on how they're gonna take it, right? Like if a person normally thinks, and I wouldn't say like they normally think in a negative manner, but like
if there's someone for example, who
doesn't take criticism well, they might think that book will be full of things and like you want to see what's in there so they can like be spiteful to whoever was in that book. But yeah, burn that book for me. I want to take it. What would you take? You would take?
Well, okay. If I'm interpreting it the way that you did, where if it's constructive criticism, that's still positive, then I would pick the positive book.
Yeah.
But I have this like unhealthy gravitational pull towards the negative comments. Not because I like. Okay, part of me is just petty, and I just want to be like, you know, writing back, which we mostly get. Not really negative comments, but we get interesting ones, I guess you could say, on TikTok, because like literally anybody's on TikTok and they can say whatever they want. I just can't believe he called us like village kids.
There's people like that, man.
But like we're literally okay.
Anyways. But whenever someone leaves a negative comment in that way, where they're kind of just calling you names, it says more about that person than it does about anything that you just put out or who you are as a person. Yeah,
it was like what he said was like a huge assumption, and I was just like. I wasn't even mean. I just left a shady response, you know?
But it's not even like, I don't think it has anything to do with us. It's more like who that person is, like what state they're currently in, how they're approaching it. Yeah, exactly. Projecting, that kind of thing. Like, that's why I don't, I haven't even seen any negative comments. You've probably seen them.
Do you not like look at our notifications?
I look at them, but like I usually just see the positive ones, if that makes sense. I haven't seen any real negative, or maybe I just haven't seen them.
Maybe you like skimmed past that one.
Yeah, or maybe I just didn't see it because usually I'll check like maybe a few minutes after it's posted, or when the first one's comments there, and those are generally positive, right?
Yeah, like for the most part, people who comment like right away when things are posted, videos or TikToks or even reels on Instagram, like
they're usually your followers.
9 times out of 10, we get a lot of positive feedback, a lot of great suggestions, good criticism, as in like things that maybe we could improve on, and we are so appreciative that you guys want to see us win, and you're helping us by telling us what we can do better. And even if there are some that are not so like not exactly what we want to hear, because like, you know, you can like hearing praise, I feel like we're still not used to it. Like when people say that they love the podcast or when they truly enjoy it, like I still, you know, I'm like, really?
It's like why?
we do this for fun. Like we enjoy our conversations. Like we would do this off camera anyway.
Yeah.
You know? And I think for me, it's like a great excuse to see you every single week.
Yeah, because if I had this, no one would see me for like, unless they went to like a lesson, which
I would see you at the iftars for like 5 minutes exactly. And be like, all right, see you next week.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, you know, when we enjoy it as a hobby, like doing this isn't like, I get excited. Like I look forward to whatever we talk about. Like we can talk about literally anything, as you guys know. So hearing how you guys feel about the podcast, it really means a lot to us. And even like we got a really, I would say it was a pretty like good, not good, but like constructive, like really well written criticism comment on our YouTube. And not to like single that person out if you're watching, but I thought it was such a great feedback, and
there's something to think about, keep in mind when you're
exactly
speaking. Yeah, so because we do somewhat to like not mention, but like go off of that is like we do sometimes it was kind of related to what we were talking about when we talked about the ultimatum. But yeah, like we do usually just come at everything from a very religious standpoint, or at least because we're religious in ourselves, like as Muslims, and we may not look at the whole thing like holistically, like on everyone's perspective, so it can come off like very judgmental for people who might not be Muslim or who don't think the same way we do. So you just have to keep that in mind.
I mean, I feel like whenever we talk about somewhat controversial topics, we usually do preface the topic by saying that these are our opinions based on our personal experiences. Like we can only really speak based on the lives that we have individually lived.
And that's what makes this podcast unique, right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't want to get the same opinion that everyone else is giving, right? You want to have like, what are the opinions of the Muslim people, black Muslims, or like, I don't know, there's white people giving their opinions, there's people in the LGBTQ community giving their opinions. Like from every community, they have their opinions. You wouldn't want everyone to have the same opinion, right? Even though it might not be what you want to hear, it's like, it's still interesting to see how everybody approaches it or everybody sees it.
And that's exactly like what you were talking about that one time when you mentioned like you don't always agree with Joe Rogan's point of view, but it's like a podcast that you listen to because sometimes he doesn't have the same thought process as you, but you, by listening to his podcast, you might learn something new, or you might understand how someone who's completely opposite to you might think about something that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, even if there's someone who isn't Muslim, someone who isn't black, someone who isn't Harari Ethiopian, and they choose to listen to our podcast, first of all, thank you. I hope that you find something interesting that we talk about, and if you want to like have a further deeper discussion, like our DMs are literally always open on our personal pages, on the Cousin Connection page. Like leave us a comment if you want to talk about
personal pages.
Okay, maybe not Amir's, just message us on Cousin Connection. He won't get back to you. Like I'm not even gonna front.
It's hard enough to get back to like people I do know. It's really bad.
I thought you were working on it.
I am, but like I need to schedule it out. Maybe I need to schedule reply to comments.
Like 15 minutes a day, a week.
A day?
A week.
Have you seen my activity on Instagram?
A week.
Maybe less than 7 minutes a day.
Do you not use Instagram?
Not very much.
I send you stuff all. Oh, that's why it takes you a couple days to
exactly,
respond.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense. So you just respond to that one thing and you close the app?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. It's really bad. Like, cause I spend very little time on my phone in general. And if I am going to be on my phone, like maybe it's on like TikTok, but even on TikTok, I maybe spend like when I'm going to sleep for a few minutes, or like
you stay on for a few minutes,
or if I'm on like a call where I'm waiting for someone to do something, or if I'm downloading like a program for work, whatever, and I know it's going to take like 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, what do I do now? And I just like pull it open for a few minutes. Yeah. So typically, if you ever see me active on any social media, I'm probably like in the middle of a call waiting for something to finish downloading. Or like I'm like waiting for something export on my computer, or waiting for something to upload.
So if I'm
waiting for something, I use it to kill time when I'm waiting for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, message me or the Cousin Connection.
Exactly.
It's 9 times out of 10, it's usually me responding. Sometimes you do though.
Yeah. Like very rarely.
Like unless I'm like, Amir, help me out. Then he'll, I'll
jump in.
But yeah, like I kind of just wanted to. That's interesting. Like I think this whole topic of negative versus positive. What do you want to call them? Comments?
Yeah.
It's very like, I don't know why. I want to know the science behind why we tend to focus more on the negative comments.
I think it's because it like exposes like certain insecurities, like like I said before, everybody's their own worst critic. So when you see someone kind of pointing out like they knew that specific thing that you're super like insecure about, it makes you like want to like be like no, like you want to come back at them for it. Maybe we should start a culture where we start responding to like positive comments. But that's the thing; it's hard to respond to a positive comment because like what do you say?
Like you say that? Thank you.
Yeah, but that's all you can say. But when you have a negative comment, you can make a whole video out of that. You can make a whole like thing out of that, a whole response out of that, right?
I feel like we deserve to get. I mean, the positive comments deserve some love and attention. But you know what the thing is? Our positive comments are not just like "Oh, you guys are great." It's like very
personal.
They write a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like
it's not just like one sentence. So usually they'll give us feedback or they'll say specific things that they enjoyed listening to. So
maybe what I should do is just like I see some YouTubers doing this where at the end of their video they'll put like a bunch of comments.
Ooh.
Just like with the people's
like
names.
A little shout out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Would you guys want to see your comments like that?
Yeah. Little. I added more editing for myself.
You suggested it. I mean, you suggested that one. But if that is something that you guys would like to see, leave us a comment on this video. And if we get 20 comments, I don't know if we will, but if we do, we'll put your names.
For the next
maybe
video.
Not all 20, but Amir will pick out his favorite one.
Because there's always like a blank screen at the end of the video they put anyways, like saying like thanks for watching. So maybe I'll put some comments in there too.
Little tribute.
Keep your retention rates a little longer. So that was your topic there, because I got like a few things here too. But of course, I'm always coming with like.
What are they, sad ones?
No. They're
gonna make me sad.
No. It's not sad. It's not sad.
Mad?
Huh? No. Okay, so I always talk about the stuff that's gonna get us demonetized, basically.
Oh, all right. Here we
go. No, but do you see what's going on in China?
No.
So I don't know if you know this. So China actually, when it came to COVID,
yeah.
They were like super strict at first, right?
Yeah.
But I guess the positive you can say out of that is that they kind of got rid of COVID pretty early, and then there was like a 2-year gap there where everybody else was dealing with COVID, but they were kind of COVID free. And they have a very similar to response to Australia. I don't know if Australia took it from China or the other way around, but it's basically like a zero COVID policy, where like even if a few cases pop up, they're going to go back into lockdown, right?
That's brutal.
And because of Omicron and all these things like that are super contagious. It eventually, even one person gets, like 50 people are going to get it now, right?
Yeah.
So that happened in China. It broke out again, and they went back into lockdown, right?
Like serious lockdown?
Like serious lockdown. And there's actually a TikToker that I got who's doing like a daily... you seen her probably?
Is it a girl?
Yeah, it's a girl. It's like
right?
a black woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and like she has like a daily update on like what's going on with the lockdown.
Okay, I guess I do know what's going on in China.
And it's like nothing compared to what we had, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as in they're worse. So like it's to the point where you can't leave your apartment. They drop off food for you, but you still have to order your own food and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If you want like to actually have proper meals, and you're getting tested like multiple times a day. You're maybe allowed out for like 20 minutes, and that when you're allowed out is mostly just to get tested. But
don't they have jobs? Like
I think because they're in lockdown, like the jobs are also shut down as well. Like the whatever work they have, unless they can work from home, they're just kind of stuck in the house.
What about
because it's completely locked down, right? Grocery stores are locked down. Everything is locked down. You can only order online. You're not walking. It's when I say it's worse. When I say it's 100 times stricter than us, it's 100 times stricter. Like everything is closed. Grocery stores. There's no such thing as essential stores to be open.
But healthcare workers, I'm assuming, are.
Yeah, but healthcare workers almost fully dedicated to like the testing process and stuff, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and it got really bad out there, and like it's still this lockdown is still going on. Like I recently got a TikTok from her saying like they're still in lockdown, whatever, right? And
has it been more than a month?
Yeah, I think she's on day like 25 or 22, something like that. Almost a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just as strict as it was on the first few days, right? And what do you call it again? It shows you like. I don't know. It's just interesting to me to see like how I don't think this would be something that would be possible in any Western country, probably any country outside of America.
I think if they tried it like in the very beginning of COVID with all of the media propaganda behind COVID, because everyone was so scared, it probably could have worked for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But now everyone thinks that COVID's a joke. Like,
yeah, but like, and I don't know. I feel like people are always like, why don't the people of China wake up or rebel? But I think it's because of a culture.
Did they forget that China's literally a communist country?
Yeah, but also it's like you're still the people there, right? But it shows you how different the cultures are, where these people are more willing to be able to, like, of course now there's a lot more like, not rebellions, but people kind of like protesting about it. But still, for a majority of the people, and this is happening in, I think, Shanghai, which is like
a major city.
Yeah, major city, right? And it's only happening in Shanghai. Like, there are other cities who are open because the breakout happened in Shanghai, that's where they're currently having the lockdown. But it just shows you how, like, there's certain things that only work due to culture, right? And the people out there, like, it's more acceptable to them because they grew up with this kind of culture, and it doesn't seem as radical to them, possibly. At least when I was looking at her videos, like, she seemed like to the people, like, it's not as radical of a thing. Like, they're actually more willing to accept it because they kind of have more of a communal idea when it comes to, like, people. Like, everyone, you know how out here kind of everyone has like main character syndrome, right?
Yeah.
So like everyone kind of is out for themselves. But I feel like in places like China, there's no such thing as main character syndrome. Like, everybody kind of thinks as a community, you kind of think as a group.
So they do whatever everyone else does.
Or they're more willing to, basically, right? There's no such thing as main character syndrome out there.
Yeah.
But out here is like, it would never work because everybody is their own main character, basically.
And there's a lot of Karens too, so.
And do you think that's a bad thing? The idea of main character syndrome?
I was actually I was thinking about this while watching a show called Selling Sunset. One of the girls on there has like severe main character syndrome. Yeah. And it's very apparent. And I was thinking, like, am I like that? And I was trying to think. But like, there's like that joke online where, like, when you have your main character moment, I don't know if it's all like.
Well, yeah, like, you even see the comments, right, on like TikTok or wherever. It's like, oh, this person's definitely the main character.
Yeah. I don't. I think it depends. Like, because how would you define the main character? Like, that whole notion of being a main character. Well,
like, main character syndrome is like where you're kind of like,
where everything's about you.
You feel like the world revolves around you, and like, you kind of do everything for your own benefit in a way. At least that's how I kind of interpreted it. Like,
I don't like that.
Yeah, you have maybe a little less sympathy because you just think that, like, everything is being done for you, or like being done to progress your story, I guess you can say. Yeah,
see, I'm not a selfish person, so I don't like that. And when I recognize that trait in people, I don't like to be around them, to be honest with you. I'm just like, you're not for me. Like, do you, power to you. Be your main character in your own world. Yeah. But you ain't the main character in mine.
But I feel like everyone has main character syndrome in the West to a degree.
Slightly.
Like, we started a podcast. Yeah, he can't start a podcast without having a little bit of main character syndrome.
But we started with each other.
I know.
We're co-main characters. No, but I think everyone has it slightly. Yeah. But it's like a sliding scale. Like, it's humility versus arrogance, or what is it? Modesty versus arrogance. So it just depends on where you land on the sliding scale. And not everyone who's a main character is arrogant, because you could be a main character without really realizing it. Like, it just happens. Like, you're just.
Well, I don't think there's actually an actual main character.
No, okay. I know, but I'm saying like for example. Yeah. Like, if you're thinking about someone who is very popular, they would be a main character.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Right? Yeah.
But there are people who work for the popularity, who like really go out of their way to be popular, or there's people who just. Like, they just are. They kind of
just, like, everything gravitates towards them.
Yeah, like, it could
natural, be. I don't know. What do you call it?
Like, I don't know.
Attitude or something?
Their personality. People might gravitate, or, like, say, like, if it's, I don't know why I'm thinking of, like, high school, but, like, if you're someone who plays on all the sports, people are bound to know who you are. Even if that's, you just enjoy the sports, right? Like, you're not trying to be popular. Yeah. So there's someone who maybe they talk to literally everybody in the world, and they try to, like, almost like sell themselves in a way, to make themselves known in the community or the school or whatever the case may be. And then there's someone who's just literally just doing them.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, oh my God, they're great.
Yeah. So and I guess social media kind of props that up a lot, right? Like they see someone who's just being their own person and like they have their own style and all that stuff. Eventually they'll just become popular because everybody kind of gravitates towards that person who's an individual and like clearly has their own style and is very comfortable with themselves.
Yes and no.
No?
Yeah, I feel like those people could be outcasts. The people who dance, like,
well, now the outcasts, the people who used to be outcasts, are considered the cool people, right? Like if you're different in some way,
yeah, that's true too.
Like if you're is there something unique about you? Like as long as you're not yourself saying that you're the best or whatever, I feel like people will gravitate towards that because people really are turned off by arrogance these days. Are they? Because
there are a lot of arrogant people in the world, and the thing is that sometimes people who are arrogant don't realize that they are. Like especially if they have other people that surround them that don't fuel their arrogance. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, think of like a popular girl and her minions. Like they fuel it for her.
Yeah, but that only lasts so long. Like, I guess.
Yeah, she eventually has a humbling experience in life, and then she becomes a regular Karen or something. I don't know, or a nice person.
Well, the whole country. I feel like the whole country has main character syndrome, right? Like just as a country in general.
Canada or America?
Both. Like you know how like back in the day people would say like, what do you call it again? Let's say your team is you're playing on a team. Sorry, I don't know why I was saying you're coming out so hard, but like let's say you're playing on like I don't know a sports team, whatever sports team it is. Like some people will pray and like saying, "Oh, let me win this game," kind of thing, right? And then when they win it, it's like they say it's because, and technically it is because it was destined to happen.
Yeah.
But they feel like it's because they asked for that kind of thing, right? It's like this specific person.
Yeah.
There's a reason. It's because I made this happen, and they kind of like get arrogant about that, and like that happens a lot in America. At least it's like TV shows and like football games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just everybody feels like, especially America in general, just feel in Canada, North America in general, just feels like everything that's done in the world is like done to them. And they have
to them or for them
done to them and for them like and they have no what do you call it again, like what they've done in the past might not have led up to this thing happening, right? I don't know. Let me try and explain it. Like let's say I don't want to get canceled, man.
What? You know what?
No. Like I don't want to get canceled by YouTube and like that's just how like
okay, say it and then we'll decide if we want to
like let's say like America is like it has a really strong army, right?
Yeah.
And they go out in the world and they kind of like destroy countries, right?
Yeah.
But then the moment one person from that country comes here and attacks them, they're like, how could this happen?
Yeah.
We had no idea this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
We did nothing to them. Why would they come and attack us? It's like you literally destroyed their country, man.
Yeah.
Like that idea, I feel like that's a byproduct of main character syndrome. That's what I'm trying to say by a whole country has main character syndrome.
I totally agree with that though.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think the way that we're raised in the West is we've spoken about this once before, but to kind of dive into it further, I think that we're raised to have a very like individualistic mindset.
Yeah.
Right? Like so that also
that's what I was trying to break it down to, the individual mindset.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could also, it's like a synonym for main character syndrome.
Yeah, it's just like probably the formal term.
Yeah, versus in China where everybody has a more of communal mindset.
They have a we mindset, we have a me mindset.
Exactly. We just broke it down to the root of what I was trying to get to there.
This is a class. Take notes, guys.
Yeah. And that's why the COVID response was so different in both countries, right? Because all about me here.
And you notice, I mean, I'm sure there are probably people in China who like may have complained.
Yeah.
But they most definitely did not complain online the way that people in the West did, where they're like, oh, how am I gonna live? How am I gonna get fresh air if I'm gonna be inside? Why right of choice or pro-choice, whatever, to wear a mask or not wear a mask or get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. So
and a big part of that is because of how the government kind of cracks down on people. Like they have a whole social credit system in China.
Oh.
Yeah, like basically it's it's almost like an episode of Black Mirror. Like everybody has like a score, almost like your credit score here.
Oh, really?
But like your credit score over here is only really affected by your finances, right?
Yeah.
But in China, it's affected by your actions as well. So like if you're a bad customer to a place, like your score can go down.
You got like Yelp reviews on everybody.
Yeah, and like you're like your score, they're following you at all times in your camera, so they can see where you are, they see where you go, who you hang out with. Like if you're hanging out with people with a lower score than you, that will lower your score.
Is it really like that?
Yeah. So like let's say a good score is like 800, and you're hanging out with like a bunch of like 300s, your score will start falling to be like those 300s just because you're hanging out with them. Because in their social credit system, like if you're hanging out with people who have lower scores, they're probably not the best people to hang out with. So you're probably going to be influenced by them and not be a good person. So that's how their social credit system kind of works.
Then they probably have such a huge, like, what is it called? Like class society or something like that, where they like the.
I'm not sure how it breaks down.
Because I'm sure like wealth comes into that too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
so the rich only hang out with the rich.
Yeah, in a way. But I think this is more just to affect like the regular common people. I think the rich people can just buy their way out of it in a way, right?
True.
Just like any country, right?
Yeah.
The more money you have, like the less rules really apply to you, or general rules.
I really, and maybe this is just my naiveness, but I really thought that even if you were rich, like, you know, you still be held accountable.
No.
I didn't, and like here, I thought here.
No.
I didn't realize that like if you're rich here, like in the West, that is America, Canada, whatever, Australia, not that that's in the West, but if you're rich in those countries, developed countries, you can still buy your way out of a lot of things. Like I thought that was just a thing in like third world countries or developing countries.
No, out here you can buy your way out of anything.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can.
When I realized it, I was
like,
you can bribe the law?
Yeah, like you probably, if you have enough money, you don't have to pay taxes. If you can kind of find loopholes in that.
No, I'm sure you have to pay taxes.
No, there are a lot of people who they find a lot of loopholes in that.
Yeah, I'm sure they find
Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna cut it off here real quick, but we're just gonna take a quick break.
We'll be back for our regular scheduled programming, and we are back.
Okay, so not to rag on China more, but you know, I had a question for you here. No, this is actually an interesting thing that kind of falls in line with that. Oh shoot, with that whole communal aspect we were talking about. But China actually implemented some rules, I think last year, about how gaming is going to work in their country. First off, they like shut down like all these gaming companies. They wouldn't allow any more licenses for games, like video games. And even like before this, China was like one of the biggest markets in video gaming, right?
Yeah, I would assume
probably the biggest. It was the biggest in the world. And they're like, no, we're going to just stop all video games being developed in our country.
Why?
I think it's because they have like that old school mentality where like games had like a negative effect. Or maybe it's still like a mentality a lot of people still have.
Okay.
But they also started implementing rules for children when it came to gaming. To the point where they're saying that, the rules they implemented were, first off, kids can't play games on the weekdays. So Monday to Friday.
How are they going to regulate that?
What,
do they have a camera in everybody's house?
Well, I just told you. They literally regulate everyone with a social credit system, right? And also the computer, the internet. Because a lot of the games people are playing are over the internet, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
And also on the weekends and holidays, kids only get 1 hour gaming a day.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
How do they, I can't imagine being so controlled like that.
So that's what my question was going to be for you. Like, first off, what do you think of those rules? Like, I know how our parents kind of, I don't know, for you probably didn't play games that many, but I know how my parents are very similar. They're like basically China when it came to the rules on video games.
Yeah, I didn't really have rules when it came to video games because I just didn't play them.
Yeah.
Like, it was once in a while.
Yeah.
First of all, Sabri would never let me play with him. Like, he'd play with you guys.
Yeah.
He wouldn't play with me. And he got games that I wasn't interested. Like, I don't know how to play.
Like WWE SmackDown versus Raw.
Well, that was like back when he had a
PS2.
No, the older one, N64.
Oh, N64. Oh yeah, we had like Super Mario and stuff like that.
All I played was Mario Kart and Mario Party.
Remember
Mario Party?
Mario Party was that was on GameCube though.
No, we never had GameCube. No, they had a Nintendo 64 version.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was like the first versions, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like I don't know if Sabri had rules. He might have. Oh, you know what I did have rules though? Because I didn't play games on like a console.
Yeah.
But I played the cereal box games on the computer.
Oh, those games. Those are we have to have a whole like episode about those games too. When we talk about like the MMOs, maybe we'll talk about that too.
Okay. Wait, what's MMOs?
The massive multiplayers online.
What the hell is that?
Like the games we used to play, like Habbo Hotel. That was an MMO.
Is that a new term?
RPG. No.
What the hell's an RPG?
A role-playing game.
Amir.
Come on, Sada. You don't know these terms?
No.
MMO is a massive multiplayer online. I believe that's what it stands for.
How was I supposed to know that? You know I don't know that
Okay, whatever.
But yeah, like I know like sometimes I would play for I think like an hour and then they'd be like, all right, enough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I just started. Like this is an intricate. Remember Candyland? Like, you know, you had to play that I had to beat the rounds.
That was basically like not Mario Party, but like in a candy world. In a way.
That song is addicting too.
Candyland is waiting for you.
Yummy gumdrops and chocolate goo. Lollipop trees and peppermint too. It's a Candyland.
I don't know the words yet.
Whatever.
I just remember the rhythm to it.
I feel like that's the type of song that they play in like horror movies.
Yeah, and like they'll like pitch up the sound.
Yeah.
And then it'll like it eventually start like echoing out. Candyland.
Stop, that's like creepy.
I mean,
for someone who's afraid of horror films, now you're trying to scare me in our studio with bright lights. I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all.
Okay, calm down. You see you crying there.
But you know, back to our topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've never really had rules. Mm-hmm. Like in terms of that, it was just they would never say like you have a but the rule was do your homework first before you do whatever it is you're gonna do.
Yeah, but even though these rules are like super strict, do you think this will have a positive effect on like their development?
Oh, I thought you said like I thought you were gonna say like here, it'd be like the world, like the West would literally protest.
Implode. It would be done.
They would lose their shit. Mm-hmm. But
like, do you see a benefit to these rules? Take your own like biases out of it, like just in general, like how did watch the screen?
In general, what I've seen is when you're too strict on kids, that's what leads to like eventual rebellion. Mm-hmm. So I think there should be like a good compromise. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Obviously, you know, if you say you could play for 5 hours straight, that might. But here's the thing too. Because I feel like we're in such a different time now than when we were kids. Like people literally have careers out of playing games and they make millions of dollars. So like if I ever have a kid in the future and they be kind of good at these games, I'd be like,
you invest in them. Exactly. They're actually like schools and like training programs. For gaming. Mm-hmm. So people.
I know you low key are like, why wasn't this around?
Nah, I don't like playing multiplayer games, so
really?
I wouldn't be in that. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not a shooter guy. I literally just play games for story. So because like it's literally like you finish the story and then you're done with the game, and then I can move on to whatever I want.
That is such a waste of money, Amir.
What money?
How do you get the game?
Just download it offline.
Illegally.
I haven't played games. I haven't paid for games in like how many years?
Get them illegally?
Don't worry about that.
Okay. Where do you get them from? Huh?
Wait,
you don't get them like on a CD?
Nobody uses CDs these days.
So how the hell do you
People
get the
download them off the internet? Like you buy them from the game stores, like the online game stores, like Steam or like Origin or these other places, like Epic Games.
But how do you get it onto the console then? Like, don't you put in a CD?
No, you just download it. If you play on a console, you just download it from like the game store online on your console. They literally have they have CDs still, but like majority of people just download them online these days.
So people don't wait in line for like the 2K whatever.
People will do that now, but like mostly because there's like limited edition, like physical copies, or like there are actual regular copies. But most of the people who are lining up for that are trying to go like for the limited editions, where you might get a couple perks or like a statue or like some type of like extra thing from it.
But like everything's available online.
Yeah. Sarah, it's been like this for years now.
I don't play games.
Okay.
I don't even think I've ever... The last time I held a controller was your Oculus controller.
Yeah. But that's a very old school mentality. Say like games are a waste of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like because people have careers out of it now, it's like... I think it just depends. Like it depends on the type of game they're playing. Mm-hmm. Because obviously, you know, I don't know if there are studies done about the kids who play like those war games and like shooting games, does that you know, does that influence them to have like a violent mindset or but if they're playing something that's like, I don't know what type of games
like age appropriate.
Yeah, like
because I feel like
but
before there used to be there always has been that argument that like these shooting games and violent games like affect kids, and most gamers be like immediately be like, no, not at all, it doesn't affect them at all. But like I'm more on the fence, like of course it's gonna affect some kids, but majority of kids it won't affect. Like if it affected a majority of the kids, there would be a lot more murderers out here right now.
Exactly, because of how popular those games are.
But it's usually a combination of multiple things. Like it could be that game, but also a combination of like living in a home that's like doesn't have a positive role models, or like they're not getting the best nutrition, all that kind of stuff, right? Like it's just a combination of things that can affect it, and that would just be a part of it, right? But it would never be just one normal kid play games and then
all of a sudden they're violent. Yeah, that's very unlikely.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think playing games is just like another hobby for kids, and I'm not going to say it's just for guys, because girls can enjoy those games too. And
there are a lot more girls coming in. There are always girls in gaming, but it's just like more like out there now. Yeah,
and I think that if sometimes that's like their release. Like say you have a hard day at school and you just want to do something that like you truly enjoy. Yeah, and that could be playing an hour and a half to 2 hours of whatever game you like.
Yeah,
go for it. As long as you don't let other aspects of your life fall apart. Like if you're falling behind in school, then I'd be like, no game for you tonight. Do your homework, catch up on the stuff that you have to do, or chores, or whatever kids do nowadays.
Yeah, that's definitely like a more even approach to it.
Yeah, or like you don't want to make them antisocial, because if they're just always only playing game and never socializing with anyone, then I'd be a little
nowadays
concerned.
Games are where people are social.
Oh, right, because they
like a lot of people playing online, like whether it be NBA 2K or Fortnite or Call of Duty or something, like usually that's where they meet their friends online.
I remember Sabri when he like used to play Xbox Live like once upon a time at home, and I would hear him like talking, and at first I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, is this guy losing his mind? Like,
thought he was talking to himself.
Who is he talking to? Just like, stop! And like he'll cuss at these people because he's playing the random war games. Yeah. And I'm just like, hello, you okay? And then I realized, because he has a microphone. I'm like, oh. I'm like, who is that? Like, do you know who you're playing with? And sometimes he doesn't. So I, I'm not gonna lie. Once or twice, I'm like, hi guys.
There's always those stories of the like the sister or like the wife or something just comes up and starts talking to them, and they just get cussed out. I'm like, okay, I'm done. You should see a bunch of YouTube videos like that online.
Yeah, I've seen a couple, but I mean, I guess in that sense, and I guess they won't be antisocial because and they're talking to people. Yeah,
but we do approach like how they're approaching. Like we do kind of come at what they're putting out there in the very like Western idea, like the me idea. But like we have to remember that they kind of think as a we community.
Who the
in China?
Oh, so they're looking at it collectively.
Yeah, collectively how it'll affect their community. So like maybe it's more accepted there, but I feel like their gaming community out there was so big that maybe this is like something that would have broken. But I didn't hear anything about people rebelling about it, but that's just because China's like propaganda and like news outlets are like so controlled that you probably wouldn't even hear about it if something did pop off about it.
And I'm sure even if they tried to protest, they'd be jailed, right?
That's exactly. So
that sucks.
Yeah, and it, like that also brings a big question, like how much control should a government have over how you parent your kids, right?
They shouldn't really have much of a say.
Well, like every country does have some control over what you do with your kids to a degree, right?
Yeah, but I feel like here, like they're so lenient. Like they're just like, as long as you feed the kid and like bathe them, I guess, and give them clothes.
No, because it can actually come to a complete opposite. Like there's a far right approach to it, like how China does it, and there's like the far left approach to it of how they do it here, and what it's kind of like leading to where it's actually going to affect how we can raise our own kids in the future.
Can you elaborate?
Like in America, there's that huge debate right now that's going on in Florida of like the "Don't Say Gay" bill, where like they're not allowed to mention like any type of LGBTQ, I don't know, relationships within school.
Whoa.
And like and
really?
Yeah, like at all. And there's like of course a lot of people on the left who were against it, but Florida's very right state. Oh yeah. So it passed in the Republicans. Now it's like it's actually a law. in there where they can't. I believe it's a law now where like they can't mention those kind of things in school, and that's kind of like that was actually a win on the right side. But let me think of the left side. I feel like is more something that would be happening in Canada. Like what can I think about? Even like the smallest thing of like, oh, here, you can't really beat your kids, even though that's a very old school idea. Like even just a tap of a kid or whatever might get your kids taken away from you in this country. And that's a way that a country has control over how you raise your kids.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. In that sense, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
When you that's in terms of discipline.
But like the reason I say how much control they should have, because I feel like we all have an idea where they should have a little bit of control, because there are some really awful parents out there.
Of course. Like everything I feel like is on a sliding scale.
Yeah.
Like I feel like those laws are set in place for people like that.
Yeah.
To sort of prevent them from, torturing their kids or whatever they do.
Yeah, so that's like the extreme of it. But they are kind of moving in similar ways. Like China might have put these rules out and they seem like very extreme, but there are similar rules that are kind of being implemented now with like the very left agenda, I guess you could say, that may make it harder for more religious people to raise their kids in this country, right?
That's a good point.
And as things move further to more of a secular idea, because America was a very Christian country at first, right? But now they're moving towards a more secular culture, I guess. But of course, there's a lot of pushback from the Republicans, and that's why there's such a big divide in America, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the people who want to keep that, like, even though in the rules of America it's separation of church and state,
I was just gonna say that
a lot of the rules are still
based on the church.
Not based, but like, yeah, they're kind of like
influenced,
made by the people who
religious
are religious, right?
Yeah.
So of course the rules or the laws you put out there are going to be biased towards your religion, right? So it's going to be interesting what happens in the next like 15, 20 years, because like, of course, that's very Christian ideas, and they're kind of pushing their Christian ideas, but like now you got to account for Muslims in the country, even though it's a very small population now.
America would never they would never accommodate Muslim people. Are you kidding?
Yeah, because it's right now it's like 2.5%, right? But like as that grows, and you have like more Catholics in there, because Catholics and Christians are like very different. They're different. They're different, right? Like almost like completely different religions in a way. So like they got to account for that stuff, and like all these other, like Hinduism, all these other religions that are coming in here. And like when they start implementing rules, they kind of have to start taking into account all these things. But if they're moving more towards a secular thing, like France, where they're literally going against our religions and like making rules that will not even allow certain people to practice parts of the religion. Yeah, like that's another extreme. That's actually that would probably be a better example of how far the secularism can go.
Yeah,
and to the fact that people can't even live how they want.
Montreal is kind of similar to France in the sense too,
exactly.
Right?
It's like France light at this point.
Which is interesting because Montreal is still in Canada, and Canada's very left, I would say.
Yeah. And it's funny now because like France is actually going into an election. Oh. Yeah, where I think Macron, who's actually implemented some of those like anti-Muslim rules, he's considered center compared to his runner-up.
He is considered center.
He's considered center, and the new person that's against him, who might actually like has a chance of winning, is even further right and more anti-Muslim and anti-religion.
What more could he do?
I'm telling you right now, it can get worse in France.
Remove mosques in France?
Not Macron, but whoever the next. It's actually a female leader, like, and they're like even worse. They're almost like Trump 2.0.
Inshallah, she doesn't win.
Yeah, so it's interesting, like seeing how China's kind of going one way with the rules, and then the other world's going another way, and like people are more mad and are kind of giving more of a reaction to what China's putting out there, when really it's not that bad of a thing compared to what's happening in other places in the country that these people are living in, where it's like affecting people in a more negative way. You
know what it is? I think because Americans or people in the West in general pride themselves on being part of a like free land, free nation. You have free choice. You do what you want type of thing. Yeah. Even though we're actually being controlled. Yeah. In ways that we probably don't even realize. China's just more explicit about it. Yeah, they're more overt about it. So like, we're controlling you, and you know you're being controlled, but at least you know. Yeah. Instead of in America, where it's like there's like this disguise of, oh, you the land of the free, do as you please. But really, we're not doing as we please. We're still following the rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is.
Yeah. You know, one's like, you know, kind of stabbing you in the back, and one's just stabbing you from the front. Just going right there. Either way, both countries are kind of like not really doing what's best for the people there, or at least that's what I feel like. Especially, you know,
China's definitely extreme.
Yeah, because look what they're doing to Uyghurs. It's like,
yeah, so that's why like I don't want to support them.
Exactly.
Like innocent people, I feel for you, you know, but those who oppress the innocent people, we have beef.
Yeah. So there was something else that I wanted to talk about. I completely forgot. I'll just write down for next time. That's why I got to start writing that stuff, okay? Because I'm going to start forgetting.
True. That's why you write it down.
What?
You write down your points because you
so
them.
I forget exactly. That's the thing. Like when you know you have like a podcast to do every week, the moment a thought comes in, I start writing it down, right?
Oh, I just obsessively think about it the whole week.
Really?
I saw this.
Do you
post
like
on
make
Monday.
the argument in your head and you like build it up
ready,
and everything?
Ready to like have this conversation.
Yeah.
With you. I saw it on Monday. And today's
really?
Sunday. Wait, it's Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
It feels like Saturday.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Damn it, I have work tomorrow.
Do you, just going back to quickly to like that main character syndrome thing, like do you ever like build a story in your head of like how your life is going? It's like
all the time.
Every time, right?
All the time.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is happening. Even when you're in a negative space, you're like, oh, this is like my redemption story. You know? Like now I'm at my lowest, and this is me like building myself back. And I feel like it can be a positive thing. That's why I said before, like it can be a positive thing, where you can use it as like a motivation to be like, nah, this is not where my story ends. That's why people say that all the time, eh? You see, let me say, this is not where my story ends.
You're right.
Because everybody has a story, right? So in their head, or like the story that they're building up in their head.
I think it's fine to be a main character in your own life, but the minute you try to impose your main characterness in other people's lives, it's like stay in your lane, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has their own story.
Like you're just a supporting character in my life. I hope you know. You were an extra.
Yeah, you all the spin-offs.
Low-key, I had that thought sometimes.
That's good.
You know what I do?
Yeah.
Do you ever have like your favorite show where they have like the main character and then the side characters?
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, who relates in this? Who fits in each role?
No. Oh my God, sad. So you do have it. This whole time you're being quiet about it. You do have main character syndrome.
No. Not anymore. No, because we talked about this, but I'll tell you off camera. Nobody needs to know about this on the episode, but I'll tell you about it off camera. It's pretty funny because you're in it too.
What? Am I like that goofball?
No, you're actually. I'll say it off camera. It's
okay. But yeah, thanks again for listening, guys. Hopefully that was entertaining, and hopefully you learned a couple things from this. I know Sarah definitely learned a couple things from this one.
Oh, before we end, I promised two people that I was going to give them a shout out.
Okay, go ahead.
So shout out to this is so awkward and cheesy, but if you guys want shout outs, we will totally give you shout outs. Just let us
like people
know.
I know?
Yeah.
No, y'all don't get shout outs. Wait,
really?
Who is it?
It's Khalid, like K-Man from Australia, and Adil, also from Australia.
Oh, they want to shout outs?
Yeah, they want to shout out.
No shout out for you.
You gotta give them
no
a
shout out for you.
Those are our homies. Our homies are A1s. Shout out to you guys. They're actually fans. They sent me a snap.
Really?
Watching our last episode.
No way. On the TV?
Yeah, they're like, they really enjoy the podcast. And actually, you know what? Let's just talk about this for a quick second. Because I spoke about this with them earlier today too, where I was saying like it's always like it's one thing to hear feedback from like complete strangers.
Yeah.
But you know when it's like our friends and family and they really enjoy our podcast and I'm like, you like it? Really? Like you're not just supporting me like blind support because we know each other?
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks guys, and thanks to all of our family and friends. Literally every single one of you.
Thank you.
Like all of you guys, our siblings, our cousins, our friends, like a lot of you guys will like send it so subtly, like you'll just show us on like their TV and I'm like, you're watching this on your living room TV. But I do that to Gizman.
Yo,
like,
the other day I saw my mom watching our podcast with Gizman or Aisha.
Oh really?
Yeah, on there. Like, and you know what's funny?
What?
Like because of the green screen, she's like, how'd you guys film this in the middle of the woods?
Really?
Yeah. I was like, that's my editing right there.
My mom did ask me one time. She's like, where do you guys get those backgrounds? Like, where were you? And I'm like, literally the studio, like the room. Yeah. So that's why when she came, my mom's here today. She saw it and she's like, oh, that's what it is. So yeah, shout out to all of you guys who have been supporting us. our channels are growing slowly but surely, and it's like exciting every time we hit a little milestone. So I know we don't always say it, but thank you so much for all that you guys, for all of your support and everything that you guys do for us. It means a lot, and I'm gonna end there.
You didn't say follow us on YouTube.
Follow us on YouTube.
Like the video. I should say that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the video.
We gotta like have a script or something. Maybe not a script, but like
the thing that we say every week, right?
Yeah.
We'll work on that, guys. Episode 50.
Clearly, we're not YouTubers yet. Like we're still working on that. Episode 50, we'll get
it. But yeah, thanks again for listening and watching. Listening.
Amir.
Okay, bye guys.
Amir.
What?
It's almost our 1 year anniversary. I think it's April 30th.
That's like literally on Eid day, no?
Potentially.
Or no.
We're recording on this day.
Is Eid going to be on Sunday?
Sunday or Monday.
Sunday or Monday?
Yeah, I didn't take off from work.
Me neither.
So, I'm screwed. April 30th. Oh, wait, this is not going to... But it is April 30th.
Yeah. They should make that like a national holiday.
But imagine if they
Muslims now.
Imagine if they accommodated every single. I mean, I guess they wouldn't accommodate. But if they did for Muslims, then every like.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But then again, they accommodate for Christians. So just saying.
I know.
Okay, we're going a little longer, guys. Okay, thank you again for listening, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.